I didn't have time. Like, I didn't have time to write follow-up. So I wrote F you. Really.
Welcome to Ducks Unplugged. 2 minds, 1 podcast, and 0 fluff. It's not just work, it's life, and it's definitely not usual. Let's dive in. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Ducks Unplugged. We are really excited to bring you an episode today that is centered around our amazing creative team. I'm Deanna Delecki.
I'm Ashley Ruggieri.
And our guests today are Sara Winslow, who's our creative director at Blue Duck Agency, and Jennifer Carney, who's our art director at Blue Duck Agency. And I did ask them for some fun facts before I introduced them, and they simply said, just say we're creative.
Yeah.
So that's all they get. Here we are. Welcome, ladies.
Just wait.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Our topic we thought would be fun to talk about, especially with both of you being here today, is if we ran the brand, what would we do? If we had creative control, product control, whatever, what brands would you choose and what would you do?
Yep.
So I wrote down some ideas. I'm sure you did as well, but we'd love to start with you guys on what would be a brand. Jen, you want to go first?
The Celtics.
Whoa.
Wait.
Ooh, you're
This is
rebranding
a hot
this
take. Oh my.
That's a hot take right there. Okay.
I love the Celtics. I love their history. Their logo, the little old Irish man. He's smoking a pipe. He's holding a shillelagh, which used to be used as something.
I know what a shillelagh is.
It's an Irish cane that was used to beat kids with.
Oh, no.
And he's smoking a pipe. And I just think maybe there's some changes that they can make.
Some opportunities for that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm thinking more like Celtic patterns, something like the Celtic knot. I think you could weave in inclusivity into that whole idea.
All right.
I don't know. I think they need to make a few changes.
Take a look. I never see the man anymore, though. Do you see him?
He's still everywhere.
The little...
The man.
The mascot?
Celtic man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always there. Doesn't he like do flips on the center of the court?
Well, yeah, but he doesn't have a shillelagh with him when he's doing it. I mean,
because
like
they
on the-
realized what it was. and they were like, take it away.
Right.
Yeah, maybe he quit smoking, and that's so he's not.
Right.
The pipe's gone.
Maybe he left his shillelagh behind.
Yeah.
You're going to have to win over your audience.
Yeah, I feel like
Because
that is
Boston's coming for you.
It is so
They are
deep in the
coming through.
roots.
It is.
It's so
It
deep in the
is,
roots. But
but I feel
Boston,
like you can do it.
I think Boston stands for a lot more now. Like it's just,
Yep.
I think they can. I think they can do it.
Yep.
And I think the fans will hold on still.
So I came with one, and I used it in the last few days, and I'm like, you know what? I think this has room to grow. So it's goo-gone,
Oh.
right?
I use that.
So I had to get
random.
goo-gone. It is random, but I don't know if you know, but we had a commercial shoot recently. And yeah, we did. And we put stickers on things.
Yep.
And
You did put stickers
on
on
a lot of
things.
things.
We put a lot of branded stickers on things, and most of the things the stickers went on could stay. But one of them was my daughter's iPad, and she had a sticker under there that she really wanted to save.
That's right.
And so I was like, I can't make you promises. You may need to get over it, but I'm going to get you goo-gone. So for that reason, I got goo-gone. And goo-gone, it worked great.
Oh, good.
It took off the goo. It left the stuff you wanted. The goo was indeed gone. So
But
I think goo-gone should step into the TikTok sphere, and its big splash campaign should be, what else do you want gone?
Yes.
And then people
Yes.
write in.
Yes.
And it's like, what else can goo-gone get gone?
Yeah.
And they could
Ooh,
do a
love it.
whole funny campaign where you get rid of people or get rid of things or get rid of habits or get like,
That is
it could be
such
very
a
funny.
good idea.
And we're going to just goo-gone whatever you don't want and
Love
leave
it.
the rest.
I love
Because that's what it
that.
did for me.
I'm here for that.
I have a
Yes.
good Goo-Gone story.
Yes, I want to hear it.
Yeah,
See?
I
Tell
had
us
I
your
had a
Goo-Gone story.
couch, and then I had beautiful candles, and then the candles spilled all over the couch, and wet wax splattered. A million splatters of wax across this couch, and I couldn't get the wax came off, like you scrape it off, but it's left with like
under.
there's left like these stains.
Yes.
And I'm like, this is ruined. Goo-gone took it all off and didn't take away the dye of the fabric on the couch. It was amazing.
This is a miracle product.
It's a miracle product.
I've never heard. No.
It came with several different goo-gone attachments.
Wow.
It
Like
came
an
with,
applicator?
It came with an applicator,
Okay.
a pointy one, and not so pointy one. It came with a scraper.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Number one fan of goo-gone right here.
It did what it said.
I'm legit going to get some
You
because I
should.
have some problem areas in the house.
Price point, entry level price point on Amazon of $7.99.
Okay.
Call me, Goo-gone. Call us.
Yeah.
Call
But
us.
we have a great campaign.
right.
Yeah.
Like
That
we're
line
ready.
you just said was
like,
great.
Let's go. Yeah. Yep.
So what do you have?
So good. AMC. Theaters.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to see the Dog Man movie 3 times in theater.
You are
this
so
year.
lucky.
My son really likes Dog Man.
lot.
He got invited to see it with a couple of friends. And every time I went to the theater, I just kept thinking, this could be so much better. And we got the fancy seats, you know, the ones that recline. The theater by us is one that has food. The food wasn't very good. The theater was kind of dirty. There was nobody working concessions. It was cool to go to a movie,
But it wasn't a good
but the experience was not great.
Yeah.
So I want people to be able to go back to the movies, and I want it to be not as expensive. I want them to experiment more with tiered pricing, not just matinee-based pricing, based on how big the movie is. Maybe the ticket's more expensive for something like Wicked, but maybe a little bit less expensive for a
Dog Man.
movie that's like Dog Man. Just
Right.
make it more accessible so people come
Maybe like
back.
the third time you see it.
Right.
You get a
You get a
discount.
discount.
I love it. Yeah.
I'm sure there's loyalty programs. I don't even go enough to entertain
Right.
something like that, but it just used to be so fun to go
Yeah,
to
it
the
did.
movies.
Yeah, it
It was a
did.
big deal to go to
did.
the movies.
And now
It was
you go-
special.
Yeah.
was
Right.
special.
It was special.
Like, can you DoorDash your own food into the movies? I don't know. Can we think outside the box so that people can go back to the movies and have a good time? Theaters are there. There's so much real
Yeah,
estate.
there's a lot of
It's not
opportunity.
being used.
Yep.
So Ducks Unhinged.
Ducks Unhinged.
Quack.
I love a good embarrassing work story.
Oh, God.
Makes me happy. So, does anybody have anything?
Okay.
Could be a crazy story. Could be embarrassing.
not that crazy.
Could be whatever. And it can be work adjacent. It doesn't have to
Okay.
be like in the office.
So before kids, we but we had old like Volvos, like old 240 Volvos. Some of them were like really ratty and beat up because they were cool to drive around Volvos,
The cars were.
old Volvos. At my last job, a couple jobs ago, I somehow got roped into driving the CEO.
Oh.
He got into my car. And the side mirror is like duct taped together.
Yeah.
Oh
I drove him all the way into Boston.
Oh, that's a far drive.
And he's like, I think it's time to get a new car.
Did you say at
gosh,
this time
he
you
did.
pay me more?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's so funny.
Did you? You didn't say that, did you?
I did not say that. No.
Okay.
I would have loved if you did.
Oh my god, I probably would have said that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It was 10.
It was it? Oh god, yeah. He had a beater for a long time.
I know he
too.
did.
Yeah,
I know
he
he
got a
did.
talking to that he
Yeah.
needed to upgrade his
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
So our old CEO, I forget what the car was, but it was not a car that a CEO
Yeah.
of a company of our
Yeah.
size should be driving.
Yeah.
But that was him. He didn't care. Like he's a he didn't need that status, right? But then eventually somebody said,
It's
you're
time.
the president of a pretty successful company
Right.
here, and you need to have a car that reflects that
Yeah.
for clients or whatever.
Yeah, that-
right.
Yep.
So the fact that he commented on your car, Jen, must
know,
have
it's a funny
really
story.
It's a funny story.
Right.
Right.
He once told me I had to dress for the job I wanted,
Oh.
meaning I was not dressing nice.
I was like, that's good advice. Oh no.
Meaning like
Oh,
you
no.
need to dress a little bit more
Yeah.
professional. I mean, I wasn't like
Right.
it was just I was probably young. I was probably
Right.
dressing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Huh.
Do you all know how I started dating my husband?
No.
We worked together, and I was on the marketing team and he was on the sales team. And part of my job was community sponsorships. We'd get a lot of tickets, and I would pass those over to the sales team. The sales team could use them for clients, whatever. And I had emailed him, being like, hey, I have these 2 tickets, blah, blah, blah. And the way that I worded it must have sounded like I was asking him to go.
Right.
And he emailed back almost immediately and said, I have plans that night, but I would love to do something another night.
Oh my God.
And I went, oh no. And then I went, he's actually kind of cute.
Oh, that's so funny.
Okay. So we ended up going out and we liked each other. And there was a very strict no dating policy at this company. So much so that it said we reserve the right to terminate whoever we basically see fit if we find out. So after some secret dating for a couple of months to just really make sure that we really liked each other, we both decided we'd start looking for new jobs because it wasn't fair for one of us to stay because we were both equally doing well in our careers. So I ended up leaving first and he left shortly afterwards. And we went back to a barbecue at the company engaged later on. And nobody had known that
they
we
were all
were
shocked.
dating. They were shocked. They were like, what are you doing here?
That's
like, that's why we left. We met each other and we were getting married.
Kept a good secret.
Now almost 14 years later.
And no one got fired.
Nobody got fired because we left.
So if somebody asks who made the first move,
it was technically me, I suppose.
You didn't even know.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I was a hot commodity, apparently.
were you hoping, was he hoping you were gonna, like, did he like you? Was he excited?
He was excited, yes.
So.
Yes.
Did he really have plans that night?
I don't know.
You should ask him.
Would
Probably.
do you think you guys, like, what would have happened if you had gone to whoever and been like, listen? Like, it would have been a problem?
Yeah.
Yeah, the industry that she was in was much more
It was banking.
conservative.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
conservative.
Yeah.
Like, just concerned that there'd be some, I don't know, moving some money around. I'm not sure.
Insider trading.
It was one of those legacy,
Inside trading?
one of those legacy employee handbook rules.
That's definitely not what that is.
That's not what I meant.
Amazing.
I thought you said inside trading.
I did say insider trading. But, all right, so my moment was I was like in full, it was at Blue Duck, and it was a few years ago. It was busy day, and I was firing off emails, and the subject line was like, I think it was to you, Deanna, and it was like, follow up, really important. And I didn't have time to write follow up. So I wrote F you, really important. It was to you. And sent it. I was like, F you, really important, and wrote all this stuff in the email. And then, 15 minutes pass and I need to look for something in my sent folder, and I look in my sent folder and I now see it, right? I now see that subject line and take a second. And I'm like, hey, Deanna, do you remember getting it? Do you remember laughing?
I don't remember this. What did I do?
You laughed at me in a kind, like nicely. I was like, so just to clarify, and you're like, well, at the very least, you might have wanted to include a slash. I didn't even do slash you slash very important. So F you, very important.
I forgot about that.
I'd love to go find that because that was fun.
Yeah, because I'm disappointed in myself that I didn't embarrass you with that at a company meeting.
I just feel like there's so many other opportunities to embarrass me.
Oh,
pretty good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So that was one. And then when I was at my very first job, I went to a company dinner. And I had too much to drink, and I didn't do anything embarrassing, but I woke up the next morning miserably hungover.
Oh, no.
And went into work.
Yeah,
went into work, right? Because that's what you do.
Yeah.
And people knew. They called me on it.
I think it happens to most people.
Yeah, they were like, how are you? You've looked better. And I'm like, oh, well.
Yeah. Thank you.
That was the
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of photos of me from one event we had.
Oh,
Yeah.
there were a few of them.
It happens to everyone.
Yeah,
Yep.
a few of them.
Yep.
So speaking of crazy work outings and drinking too much, one of the most embarrassing conversations I had to have in my career was we had these big sales meetings at my last company, and everybody would fly out, all the account people, all the sales people, right? And it was a big thing. And for this particular one, we were in Arizona. And do you have any idea what I'm going to say?
Scottsdale? No.
Oh.
Nope.
And one of the nights we went out, we went to like a nice dinner or whatever, but then everybody headed to a bar that had a mechanical bull. And everybody had been drinking a lot.
Yep.
And I wasn't, of course. I was responsible. And so we're standing there, and the bull, people are riding the bull, and everybody's just hanging out and having fun and whatever. And my vice president of client services.
I'm nervous about this.
I was it was the SVP or whatever at the time, but my VP underneath me, I look over to the left, and he's standing there with no pants on.
Stop. What do you mean, like
No.
What do you
I think
Yes,
I remember who it was.
A work button down long sleeve shirt with his boxers and socks. And I was like, where are your pants?
Oh no.
And he's like, well, so-and-so wanted to ride the bull, and she's wearing a dress, so she needed something. So he thought taking his pants off.
chivalrous.
He was trying.
Chivalrous. Right. It was good.
And so I'm like, oh my God, can you?
Oh my God.
So fast forward until we're back in the office, and I get a phone call from my boss, and he's like, look, we have to talk about something. It's going to be a little uncomfortable. I'm like, oh, all right. And he's like, I heard that at the, I don't think he must not have been there, right? I heard at the blah, 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 that so-and-so had taken, like, we can't take our pants off in a work outing.
We collectively, all can't take our pants off.
And I was like,
that.
he's like, I don't want to have this conversation. This is not where we want to be, but I need to know that I said it.
Right.
And I'm like, I understand. I will have a conversation again with my team.
I'll discuss it with my team.
Dress codes.
Just on. It's a pretty low bar dress code.
Way
Just
low
on.
bar.
Keep it on.
Right. Yeah.
Right. I don't care what it is. You can wear whatever you want.
I mean,
pants,
yeah.
but, right. Just don't
Achieve that 100% of the
take
time.
them off.
Yes. Yeah.
He
good for
really
you.
thought he was doing the right thing.
He was when I was like,
helping
"Where
a
are your
coworker.
pants?" And
He
he's
thought
like,
he was going to split them, maybe? Riding the bull?
No,
He was giving it to a girl who was wearing a skirt, and she wanted to wear the bull, so he took his pants off.
that
gave
was
them
the
to her.
solution. Was I'll give you my
But
pants.
she said thank you.
And she wore them.
Thank you
she,
for
she
these
was
pants.
on the bull
She wanted those
when I
pants.
noticed that he had no pants on.
Oh gosh.
That just goes to show you always need extra pants.
You do, and there are other ways to problem solve. Maybe you need to run through a couple options in your head.
Yeah.
or you
Just don't
like,
go.
don't ride the bull.
Don't go on the bull.
don't go on the bull. I mean, don't go on
ride the bull.
Right.
You lose out on
Right.
one. It's okay.
Right.
Yep.
So I have another. If I'm telling too many stories, tell me to shut up. But one of my
do that.
very first companies that I worked for was this. I ended up. I think I mentioned at some point I had a small ad agency, and it got acquired by Arnold. So I worked at Arnold Worldwide, which is a huge Boston-based ad agency. And we ended up taking our client to Vegas, and I was like 20-something. Like I was new in my career, but I was their account person, and so I had to go to the conference, had to work the booth, had to do all the things. And so they wanted to go out one night, and so you do what the client wants, right? We had the most insane night in Vegas.
No.
Insane. And I was making like nothing. So like I had like $500 in my savings account,
If you were
right?
lucky, I bet.
Right.
I didn't have that.
And
I
maybe,
no money.
right?
Hopefully you weren't spending your own money.
So it got to the point where I could use the card for a period of time, but then we had to get. So we had this crazy dinner with like seafood towers.
Yeah.
And blah. Then they wanted to rent one of those limos and go up and down the strip and go to, the Eiffel Tower. And we did a helicopter ride down the strip. It was insane. Okay. So then when we got to the Paris hotel, she's like, all right, I want you to take out $200 per person so that everybody can gamble.
Like, I don't
And
have.
I was like, I don't
The client asked that.
Yes. But
Whoa.
Yeah, right.
it was
Wait a
insane.
second.
It was
You're a
insane.
child.
It was insane.
She should know you didn't have
And
that
so,
money.
but nobody's thinking straight at this
Right,
point. It
right.
had been a long,
Yeah.
let's just say a long evening.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing is, so we get back to the office, and my boss called me into the office, and he's like, "How was the trip?" And I was like, "It was kind of wild. Like, I just need to prepare you for the expense report I'm going to be filing." And he's like, "Oh, I know." And I'm like, "What do you mean you know?" He's like, "Do you remember calling and leaving me a voice?"
Oh no.
In the middle of the night. Early
So
morning
late
hour.
night, he saved it. It was sweet. And he
no.
played it for me and this other, I was with a copywriter, actually, he went too. and he played it for us.
Oh my God.
It
Pass that on the
was-
floor. Pass that on the floor.
It was representative
Oh my
of the
gosh.
evening.
Yep.
Say
Oh
that.
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
God.
Did you wake up with a tiger in your hotel room?
I did not. I mean, it was that wild.
that
It could have
wild.
been. Yeah.
Vegas
Wow.
will do that to you.
Yeah,
Vegas does.
yeah. So
Vegas
that was
does.
funny, and I'm
Yep.
like, oh dear, sorry. The client's happy though.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Clients had a great
Client
time.
had a great time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I did my job.
Job done.
Right.
Check.
Check.
The box.
Right.
I would
Okay.
be the most boring client if I would not be asking for anything like that.
They were a little.
I'd be
yeah.
too. I'd feel bad.
Yeah, but I bet when you got to a certain point, you're like, I'm the client, and you know what? I want to be wined and dined.
Take me on a helicopter, on a limo.
Yeah.
Give me cash.
Give me cash. Oh yeah.
Give me cash.
That was the worst.
And maybe if you like your agency, you want to do those things too. Like you want to have fun,
Yeah.
right? Together.
Your agencies are supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
Cool, right.
Yeah.
And we were.
I mean,
Yep.
we're very fun,
we are.
but I'm not
Not
taking
gonna give
anybody
you
on a
cash
helicopter
for- yeah.
ride right now.
I'll go on the helicopter with you, but you're on your own for the cash.
Yeah.
Some fun work stories. We could do this all day. Love crazy work stories. Well, thank you both so much for coming
So
on.
much fun. Thank
This
you
was
for
a lot of
having
fun.
us.
It's a good conversation. So
Make sure you guys follow, like, subscribe. Check out the next couple episodes that are going to be coming up. We're having a great time with this.
We
We hope
really
that you
are.
are too, listening. And thank you both for coming on to the podcast.
Quack.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Quack, quack.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah. Thanks for diving in. That's what we like to say. All right,
Perfect.
till next time, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.